Before we get into any of the serious questions, though, anyone who listened to your appearance on Good Hang with Amy Poehler knows that you love the fun of making a name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, season 2, we've got Dr. Garbanzo Bean.
Sure.
Yum Kafonson.
Right.
Receptionist. But I want to ask you about the character played by Carrie O'Malley, because I think if you say, I need you to say it out loud.
Okay. If you look at the name, it looks like a series of indecipherable, perhaps Welsh consonants and vowels.
Yes.
Her name is Megan Chocolate, of course. That's how you pronounce it. And the reason is, at the time we were coming up with the name, the trailer for the movie Wonka had come out. And in that trailer, Timothée Chalamet, a child says to Timothée Chalamet, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm making chocolate, of course."
What are you doing?
I'm making chocolate, of course.
And so her name,
Exactly right.
yeah. And so her name is Megan, and we were like, "What's your last name?" And I was like, "I'm gonna write the words chocolate, of course, but in the weirdest possible way, so that no one who glances at it could understand that that's what it is, but that's what we will secretly know it."
Yeah.
That is the story of the name.
I have to turn to you and ask you, you've had such an incredible career, 50 plus years in this industry. Where does getting repeatedly glitter bombed fall on the list of things that you've gotten to do
Of your
on a
proudest
camera?
accomplishment.
Hey, what did Wheeler find?
Oh, come on, you're gonna have to clean it up.
Worth it.
Mary, follow up. How many days did you spend just like seeing glitter all around the house?
I think it's still there.
It was the first one was nasty.
Yeah.
The rest we learned how to, not inhale and not get a mouthful. But I looked forward to it because it was funny. I thought, now that's funny. It got towards the end, I was feeling like Charles. No more. No more takes. Sorry, that's it.
I think we see it like half a dozen times at least.
It happens
There's
a lot.
So many.
Yeah.
And unfairly by Mary because I had figured it out.
Yeah, the last
That
one.
The
wasn't
last
fair.
one wasn't.
I'll give you that.
But also so unapologetic. You're just like, "Oh, sorry." Anyway, and
I
move
know.
on. Yeah.
I move on.
We're
Have
gonna
coffee.
do it anyway. Mary, I want to talk about your role in the season because you have one of my favorite lines in this entire season. People our age have this whole complicated life behind us. God knows what's ahead. Let's just be here now. So beautiful. I started crying. Did it hit you as hard as it hit me? And when you've been in this industry for so long, how do you stay present when you're filming these kinds of scenes, especially alongside your real life husband?
We had a little code word before every single take, and I've thought that the editor might have noticed it.
I don't know.
But we say, before every take, we say Sandy. And Sandy, it was my teacher, Sandy Meisner, and he studied the Meisner method from a student of Sandy's. So, and the whole thing that Sandy taught was just a way of being so connected that you're really listening to the other person. So I think that was, we took joy in really consciously doing that. And it kind of put us back, honestly, to our young selves that became actors. Both went to New York the same year and started studying. And it was just kind of a fun way of being in touch with our actorness,
Mike, I want to ask another question about episode 4 because we have the moral philosophy of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And, we slip into the Martin Heidegger of why are things? And then we also get into the kantiness of examining the categorical imperative.
So in that sense, there's no difference between giving yourself curtain bangs and committing the mass murder of innocent civilians.
How much fun did you have getting back into philosophy and ethics and all of that?
It was fun to give a little hat tip to The Good Place by having a character. Winnie Holtzman plays a character who's a moral philosophy teacher. And it was fun to just, without spoiling too much stuff, she's running an obfuscation game. She's trying not to give away too much about what she really thinks. And if you're a philosophy professor, it's very easy to do that. You just start talking about really complicated stuff and everybody gets really bored and walks away from you. I know that as a fact for my own life. But we had one direct reference to The Good Place where when she was saying, "What are things?" and what blah, 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 at one point, Julie, the PI, said, "This is why everybody hated that show about moral philosophy professors." and we decided to cut it. I was like, "That's too meta. I don't want to do that." But it was very fun to just there's a lot of little hat tips and nods that we've put into the show in the last 2 seasons.
One
Just
big honking one.
Well, we had Darcy show up as a
That's true.
guest professor and stuff, and I think those things are fun. It's for anyone who has been following Ted's career or the shows that I've written on. I always love that when you saw a little like, oh, look at that. I noticed that, you know?
We see Kristen Bell in a less subtle capacity this season.
Park it back on the block.
I can do that.
Yeah.
You're going soft, Mars.
Makes me wonder, is this the bit now? Are we running with this for season to season? Is season 3 going to be like at a daycare, we're just going to hear Princess Anna from Frozen in the background?
That's a good one. Yeah, we decided after, she dropped by the set and we had her do a little cameo where she just stood up with her back to camera and walked off. And then we decided that somehow or another, as long as this show exists, she will make an appearance
Unpaid.
in every season. Unpaid, that's right. But I told her, she doesn't know how she's in this. I told her she's in this season, but she doesn't know how because I didn't tell her we were doing it.
That's
So,
great.
but when the show drops, she'll get to see how she fits in.